The extended police community around the nation is wrapping its arms around the Tara police station where the two officers killed in last night's shooting were based. I'm joined by the Nationals member for Cowper, Pat Conaghan, himself a former police officer. Pat, this is just hard to get your head around the violence, the fact that these two young police officers in their 20s were starting their careers, they're young faces, and now this atrocity. It really is shocking, Pat.
Well, I wish I wasn't sitting here talking to you. I really mean that. We hoped 26 years ago when Senior Constable Addison and Spears were gunned down not too far away from where I am now in Crescent Head. We hoped that would never happen again. But this is just such a tragedy on so many levels. You have two beautiful, brilliant young lives taken away. You've robbed them. These people have robbed them of having families, having a career, having a wonderful life, and we don't know why, and we may never find out why. But on another level, just the devastation, it will shatter. It will shatter the police community. It will shatter the township. And this is a trauma that will be carried for many, many years. And I saw that in Kempsey. I saw my colleagues who I used to work with, who worked with Senior Constable Spears and Addison, they were shattered. They were devastated. And it's not something they get over. It's a trauma they will carry for the rest of their life.
And you saw it with the police commissioner herself. It's such an emotional time to lose two young officers, and then we see the other Keely Brough who had to crawl through the scrub to try and escape. Thankfully, she did. Another constable was shot in the leg. It's just horrific, and the trauma that they've gone through, let alone the families that have lost their beloved family members. It's just so sad, so upsetting for the police force, but for the nation, Pat.
It is, and as a nation, we should be mourning. And can I offer my love, sympathy, and condolences to the two police officers' family and friends and community. And as I said, they will be numb at the moment, and they'll be numb for some time. And then the reality is that this isn't a nightmare. This is their now reality, and it will change their lives. And for the worse. The police community is a big family. And when things like this happen, we band together and we help each other and we stick together. But it would have been terrifying for all of those involved, absolutely terrifying. And that is something that they will live with. The young female constable will live with just horrible circumstances, what these people did, just unspeakable. And in the future, after the inquiries, after the inquests, we should never utter these offenders' names again.
Yeah, I'd be happy for that to be the case. Just appalling. And all of them the four constables, Pat, all just kids, all of them in their 20s.
Well, I did call them kids earlier today, and to have just gone into the police only 6 or 9 months before, I mean, they would have been on a high. And I remember being a probationary constable on a high. They were there because they loved their job. They loved what they were doing, and they've been taken away. And but you can't possibly begin to imagine, as a family member or a friend, the grief that these people go through and what they will carry for the rest of their lives. As I said, this is life-changing for them. It is traumatic. And as a nation, we should thank every single police officer around this country, because every single day they go out, they face this very danger.
The Queensland Police Union is launching an appeal for support of the families of the two young officers who were shot dead, and that's via their Facebook page. Also, their website is going to be updated soon, we're told. So for those that want to provide some help via supporting the family, there is that option. When you look at this as a former police officer yourself, Pat, it appeared that there hadn't been any red flags, that these 4 young constables had been sent there in this situation. They didn't stand a chance once they arrived, according to the Commissioner, with those, the perpetrators, the alleged perpetrators there ready to go, dressed in camouflage apparently. But apparently there were no red flags prior to their arrival, which again is so shocking for these young officers to walk straight into the hail of bullets.
Yeah, and look, that's what I said. Every day they get up and go to work, and you don't know what you face. And sometimes there aren't red flags. The situation 26 years ago with Senior Constables Addison and Spears, that was just a simple domestic incident. There was no red flags, there was no gun warnings, and they walked straight into that. Similarly here, there can't always be signs or red flags, and you might be going to deliver a message to somebody. You might be going to inquire into a disturbance. You don't know what you're walking into. And that is why we should be grateful to the police, to give them the respect that they deserve and generally don't get enough of these days. And really thank them for the work that they do, and also the first responders who have gone to this incident, who have gone to this tragedy. They will carry this on their shoulders forever.
Yeah, and it is a reminder as over the Christmas period that if we see police, whether it be in Queensland or anywhere, to tip the cap and just to show that respect, Pat.
Yeah, absolutely. And I urge anybody who's listening to support these families, to give them everything that they need, because they will be going through tough times for a long time, and we owe it to them.
Nationals member for Cowper, former police officer Pat Conaghan. A tough day. Thank you for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.